Hi there, Pisces. Welcome to your end of September 2023 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. Well, I know you're the last sign, but um, I try to make an effort to put out Pisces earlier on, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way, so I apologize. The first two cards I get are Cups. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry, Pisces. Why does this always happen to you? There's another Cups. I think I'm going to try from this pile. Okay. Maybe I'll pick a clarification card. Let's pick one more. Okay. The heart of the matter is the Five of Cups. This is mourning the loss of something or maybe someone. I keep hearing over and over again, look at those remaining cups that the man has his back turned against. And that, I guess that's supposed to symbolize that the person is focused on the loss and not either the silver lining or what remains, what's good. And yes, I think that Pisces, that should be a goal all the time in life, is to acknowledge something that, if you're sad about something that you don't have anymore, but also to see that there is still something to celebrate. Even if somebody loses their job, they can say, I finally get some time off and I don't have to explain myself to someone, even if it's an unpaid time. I mean, you can always find some way to flip the script and perceive what's going on in your life in a positive way, at least more positive. In the past position, we have the Seven of Cups. This, I think, is connected to Neptune, and it can be vague longings, wanting, I think that's another Piscean trait, that you have these longings, but they're indefinable, and these dreams that seem unattainable. This is a card of wishful thinking, in other words. Sometimes it can be that you are being given a lot of choices in some area of life, but it's almost like overwhelming you. And you don't know if your discernment is going to cause you to pick the right one. Well, first of all, I don't believe there is something right. Something may look right on the surface, maybe a reputable company, or you like that it's higher pay than something else, and it's a high pressure environment. And something that seems very modest could be very easy to work in that environment, but you might take a pay cut from what you're currently doing. And only you can decide. But to me, it seems like peace of mind wins out every time, than having some kind of pressure and feeling not in the pit of your stomach every time you wake up. The stomach is the heart, is the power chakra, the third chakra. And that's why people get butterflies in their stomach when they feel disempowered, when they feel like somebody is imposing their will on them. You can get stomach aches, you can get just nausea. And so something, and if this is relationship related, and you have recently lost someone, either they passed away and you are a widow or widower, or breakup, something like that, the temptation might be just to go try to replace that person, like when somebody tries to replace a dog or whatever. But other people know that you can't, nobody's replaceable, or a pet is not replaceable, and so they will have a waiting period. And I think that that's best. I mean, that's my opinion, obviously. Some people, maybe it does help their grief to not just sit there and think about it. But I think processing, integrating that individual's place in your life is part of the process. The higher message is the Eight of Swords, feeling a sense of being trapped somehow. This is the higher message, so I read it as like spiritually what's going on here. Why does a person feel like this? I got this, you and Aries were the last two signs that I had to do, and I got this exact same card in this exact same position for Aries. And I was saying is that this is a program that has been installed. Usually it's going to be by parents, but there are obviously other caretakers that when you're growing up, you might have spent a lot of time with, other relatives, step parent. And the programs, and I use the example or analogy of the virus in a computer, and how we click on that, we install it ourselves, unwittingly, because we think we're going to be taken somewhere else. Well, the same thing applies to even when an adult projects something that's on them, some kind of negativity onto you, and it's like you click on that link, you accept that as being something true. And so there's a saying that the way out is the way in. So you have to start rewiring your brain. You have to start reprogramming yourself into something that is more positive. There's I'm sure a lot of Pisces can identify with a feeling of learned helplessness, a feeling like there was nothing you could do in past situations. And that's how I see the Eight of Swords, is like this learned helplessness. But you have to believe that it is possible. And you don't have to allow your emotions to get the best of you, because here we have so many cups. I mean, well, it's not, so many. I mean, I've got 3 cards that are cups, but it's very interesting that we also have this fire energy, because if your sun in Pisces, you may have Aries placements, or even, with your moon sign, you may have Sag or Leo or something like that. And that's emotional too. But there's also a sense of wanting to be independent. So when I see this reading, I see somebody who is fighting for themselves. But you don't have to prove anything to anybody else. That's what I want you to know. What crosses you is the Knight of Cups. This can be someone who is presenting themselves as your rescuer, the person that you can count on. And this person, especially if you're in a vulnerable state, you have to be very discerning about people who come into your life, especially if they present themselves in a very over-the-top kind of way, like they're perfect. Those kinds of people, if they could be putting on an act, and there could be a very nefarious reason why they're doing so. That doesn't mean that you have to be overly suspicious of somebody who's nice to you, but this Knight of Cups in the challenge position can be someone who is very manipulative, and maybe they use romance and poetry to lure you in, especially if you are in a place where you feel emotionally raw. like the Five of Cups. That's another reason that you want to perhaps pause before getting back into that scene if you've had a recent breakup, because you might be not in a good place where you can withstand, somebody's negative behavior. Like, you might be too vulnerable. So it's better to just kind of be detached. And if this is like a job loss, for instance, and you thought a job that you got involved with was going to pan out and it hasn't, I just want you to know that if you get an offer, because the Knight of Cups can be an offer, to be very discerning about it, because it could be like the Seven of Cups, where if you look at that card, it's kind of funny. They always talk about this. Like, one of the cups has a snake, the upper right, and some other creature. It's like you never know if it's going to be something not so nice. What's coming in is the Eight of Pentacles. This is good for any kind of work issues. If you're in between jobs and you're freaking out about it, this could be also an internship or apprenticeship program. Learning the ropes, maybe learning on the job, doing good work. This is also a good money card. So that points to something good work-wise. And then the outcome, one of my books calls this the burdens of success. The Ten of Wands. Wands can be ambition and career, and that can be career attainment. But the attainment may come at a price. Maybe you have to work longer hours or something like that. So make sure that if you feel trapped like the Eight of Swords and you're willing to do anything, like for instance, the Five of Cups might be that you didn't get a certain promotion. Maybe the Seven of Cups might suggest that you were not really thinking clearly about that you were assuming that was a done deal. Maybe it wasn't. And so the Ten of Wands can still point to good outcomes with career, but you might have a lot on your plate. Just make sure that you're not desperate and that you don't get taken advantage of, because sometimes the Ten of Wands can be that you are taking on the responsibility that belongs to someone else. And you're assuming that responsibility. Like, a coworker has to be on medical leave, and they're telling you to do her job as well, and they're not paying you more. They want to just save costs. Well, is that your responsibility to help them save costs? That's their business. So the thing is like, sometimes we help people, but by the same token, that doesn't mean that we have to be taken advantage of, right? So I just want to clarify that. And then I picked two clarification cards here. One of them is the Nine of Wands, which is a card of being wary of. This is a card of boundaries. Yeah, so that goes along with the Ten of Wands in terms of a workplace thing, or even like if somebody has broken up with you and you're upset about it, don't assume that they're not going to contact you again. Sometimes people break up with another person because they're toying with them and they want to elicit that response. That's what a narcissist does, a malignant narcissist. A lot of Pisces are empaths, so you may be the perfect person that a narcissist makes a beeline towards. So it's up to you to understand this and cut it off at the pass, not allow someone to take advantage of you like that. And then an additional card, the Eight of Wands. things can be really rocking and rolling right now or in the near future. And you have to have your head on straight and be able, unlike the Seven of Cups, not see things in a hazy kind of way, because if you don't, you're going to, miss what's happening. You're not going to be able to take advantage of it, and they'll just breeze right past you. You may have multiple, just like it's funny that I get the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Wands, because both of these can indicate having a lot of opportunities present themselves to you. But sometimes that can be overwhelming, and the person just sticks with what they have. And, don't allow yourself to be overwhelmed. Take a deep breath and see if there's something that might be better than what you have. Maybe you just think that there's a sacrificial element to Pisces. Maybe the Ten of Wands, it makes you feel needed. That you're being asked to fill in for somebody, but you don't realize that it's depleting you. It's easy to get burned out under those circumstances, and you have to, be careful of that as well. Okay, that's what I have for you, Pisces. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, I have package deals right now with astrology, an hour of natal chart analysis, an hour of transits for a special price called my deep dive reading. And I have one also with the tarot called the Whole Enchilada, all three of those readings. And I have standalone readings like for love and career. Please click on the link below for more details, and thank you for watching. Bye.